For magnetometer data correction, we can create a mag sphere, and we can increase the point size. We need to then select data that doesn't have this outlying data. So I'm just going to remove the beginning bit of this data set where it exists. So we've got a sphere of data there. If we initiate the magnetometer correction algorithm, it requires us to select this data as a bookmark. Okay, and now that that is selected, we hold down the left Alt key, right click, and it becomes the data set that we'll use. We click this button, and it presents us with the ability to correct the ellipsoid and the ellipsoid effects to the data. So you could right click and it would create an image here, and then it would automatically select the best point where this right hand sphere is most spherical. The greater your data set presented to it, the longer it will take. So if you use a small amount of data to create a spherical, near spherical set of data for this algorithm, it'll be a lot quicker. So we can just click here and we have our offset corrected, and it would be ellipsoid corrected if we put it through that other routine. Alternatively, if you only had a small amount of data present, such as this, if I reduce that right down, so we only have a small amount of data here from that original set, we cannot do normal offset correction because we don't have the full sphere for it to determine the min-max of the XYZ data. So we do it a little bit differently now. So we highlight our data, we create a bookmark, and move that back, and we start the magnetometer correction algorithm again. Hold down the left Alt to push that bookmark through. We tell it that's the data that we want to use. So now you can see it's a bit confused as to where the offset should be. So now you push this other button, and now if you use the mouse wheel, hold down the left shift, no button, just left shift, and we can correct this. You can use the control button, mouse wheel, to resize this if necessary to fit the sphere size of your data. And the point is that we try to get the edge of this sphere to fit the edge of the curvature of this data, and you can move this around as much as you want as well. So it's probably best to align this data to one of these. So if I have green at the top and red perpendicular, like this, about there, that's upside down, so like that, and this one we can bring down. So you have to keep moving it around to try. Oh, that's actually quite good. It's a bit off there, so that's on the ZY axis. So we put it like that, which is X. Okay, so it's neither of these two. We have to make it up as we go along. So it's along the Y axis. So if we move up or down on here, we can adjust the position. That's actually pretty close. So what you want to do is look at the edge of the sphere and try to get the data to sit there as best as you can. That's actually pretty good. Look at it on both angles. So that's actually pretty good there. Take it around another 90 degrees. That's actually pretty close, I'd say. Pretty close. Once we're happy with that, you click the button, and then it asks you, do you want to do ellipsoid correction with these new offsets? And because we haven't got much data, we can't do an ellipsoid correction, so we say no. Okay, and that is now offset corrected. So that could be used, stored with your TDO. So the offsets are stored up here as normal. So if you did a time and date correction as normal, any accelerometer offsets, and also don't forget the orientation settings, which are done through the device orientation algorithm here. So once you've done all those, then you can save it as a TDO, and that would use these offsets in your TDO. Additionally, if you did have a small amount of data on magnetometer again, then so bring this around, small amount of data like earlier, then what we can do is we can, no, sorry, if we had a large amount of data, let's get rid of the initial outliers there, let's get rid of those outliers. So we start a magnetometer correction and create a bookmark, and then tell it to use that data. Put this back in position. Okay, so we tell it we want to use that data. Now we can do our offset. If we weren't happy with the offsets, we can just trim them. Use your mouse wheel to resize if you wish. Hold down Shift and reposition the X, Y. Reposition the XZ if necessary. Click the button to accept the offsets, and you can, if you wish, instead of saying no because you haven't got enough data for a sphere, if you have got enough data for a sphere, but the offsets were bad before, now you've corrected the offsets, you can say yes, I want to do the ellipsoid corrections. It returns you to this window here. Just left click once to let it release, and again you can then right click here to have it create a map, and then it will automatically select the most spherical version of this corrected data. This is the uncorrected, this is the corrected. Or you can hold down Shift and just move your mouse wheel, no left clicking, just hold down the left shift and move your mouse wheel. You can try to find the most spherical version of the data as you like, as possible. Okay, so once you're happy with that, then you can just click the top button to finalize, and there you go. So that's the 3 versions of the magnetometer correction. Thank you.